All right. It is Tanya, and we are back in action with the Menopause Made Easy podcast. And today I want to talk about natural ways to get Ozempic in your diet. And I know your frustration. Listen, I hear, oh my God, I hear from so many of you. You're like, Tanya, I want the weight off now. I'm frustrated. I want the quick fix. I don't even care if I take the pill. And I did an episode, it was number 94 on Ozempic quick fixes and what happens. And also the first episode of the Menopause Made Easy podcast was stop looking for the shiny stars. And I know I'm a woman. Listen, I get it. I spent years trying to find the magic pill. It doesn't exist. So let's just stop and nail the basics. And I'm going to share with you 9 natural ways today to naturally increase your fat burning capability. So let's get started. And, you know, the thing is that I know it may sound easy to take a pill, right? But even when you take Ozempic, because trust me, I've had people on it, you still have to do some work. And if you stop taking it, you are going to gain the weight back and more, and you've lost body fat, or sorry, you've lost muscle mass, and you are, if you've been listening to current news and research, you have affected your gut. So I wanted to pop in here today and really talk about some ways that are going to seem pretty basic, but it's doing the basic work day in, day out. So here we go. I know that many of you want to lose weight and maybe, you know, gosh, oh my gosh, I do so many different things to help people, but there's a different way to lose fat versus losing weight versus improving your health versus disease prevention and really tapping into our body. And I think a lot of us really have to start stepping up to the plate and becoming the CEO of our own health. And, you know, I talk to my clients and they will lose like 2 dress sizes. Their clothes are feeling better. They have more energy. They're sleeping better, and they still want to lose 10 or 20 pounds, but they have changed their body composition. So one thing I would recommend perhaps is getting a bioimpedance scale, so you can really start to measure something other than your weight, because you want muscle mass. And I did an episode, I don't know what it is now, but it's called Muscles for Longevity. And I just cannot beat this enough, but we must put muscle on our body to help our bone, our brains, our independence, all the rest of it, our metabolism. Okay, so please understand when I'm talking here today, I'm specifically talking here about fat loss, which means you're going to lose inches, and you may or may not lose weight depending on how much muscle mass you put on. But if you start to understand the composition of your body, you don't want to lose muscle mass, which is happening at a rate of about 1% per year after the age of 40. So if you are not lifting weights after 40, please, if it's not me, I'd love to have you in my programs, but this is like, you got to do it. Okay. Like that's just how it goes. Okay. I'm not going to talk about that today, but, all right. So Ozempic, and you might have heard of Wegovy, and there's some other different kinds of ones, but they're like a oh my gosh, a glucagon-like peptide. So it's called it's called GLP-1. Okay. And there are foods that you can put in your diet and some supplementations that have the same effect on these cells. And I know these medications are becoming very popular because a lot of people are asking for them, but you know, I am not a big medication person, I have to be honest. And with everything, there's side effects. So what can we do to avoid the expensive cost of these medications and come up with better alternatives with less side effects? All right, so that's what we're talking about today. Raising your GLP, yes, 1 levels naturally. Okay, so first of all, how does GLP-1 help with weight loss? All right, so GLP-1 is a hormone naturally produced by your body, and it works in several different ways to help with blood sugar control. So this is in my guide, Cut Your Cravings. I talk about the importance of maintaining a level, steady blood sugar level. Okay, because that'll cut down on cravings, it'll help with fat loss. Again, when I say weight loss, I'm really referring to fat loss. So just keep that in mind. So GLP-1 slows down how fast your stomach empties so you feel full longer. Okay, now just a little caveat, which I have put in my podcast before, but when you have an emotional eating problem, let me just tell you, I was eating all the time and I was not hungry. Okay, so that is a separate issue that you may have to deal with. And I had to learn some new skills to deal with my emotions so I didn't eat them, because I was eating when I was not hungry. All right, so just that little side note there. GLP-1 increases how much insulin your pancreas produces, which lowers your blood sugar levels naturally, and it also sends signals to your brain that reduce hunger and appetite. Again, different from habits, emotions, boredom eating, social eating. Okay, there are skills to learn for those as well. So like I said, there's many medications that can increase GLP-1, and I've talked about Wegovy, Ozempic, there's Victoraz, and some others, okay? But currently Wegovy and Ozempic seem to be the popular ones in the media. So let's talk about 3 types of food that increase your GLP-1, okay? And we've talked about these a lot. There's not going to be many surprises, but are you doing them? Are you consciously, intentionally adding these foods into your diet? Okay, and these foods, as a bonus, are good for you, and they can also improve other measures of your health, such as lowering your risk for heart disease and cancer. All right, so here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Healthy fats. I just did an episode, again, I'm not on my podcasting, but I just did an episode on healthy fats, good versus bad fats. Please go listen to that. And I'm telling you, you start to get those bad fats out of your diet, those seed oils out of your diet. And I'm telling you, they are in everything, okay? Even healthy things like hummus, and in my olives and artichokes, I've had to find all new brands of products. The more we speak up about getting these seed oils out of our diets, the more, if these products just sit on the shelf, trust me, food manufacturers will start to change, but it comes from us. So stop buying canola oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, corn oil. Go back and listen to my episode on good versus bad fats. And start to just, when you buy new things, change your brand, get these fats. They have a shelf life in your cell of 2 years, these bad fats. So we really want to start taking them out of your diet. So we want to focus on healthy fats, right? So that is your monounsaturated fats, your omega-3 fatty acids. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to do another podcast on omegas, and we're going to talk about this in my midlife reboot program, which if you're not a member of yet, I highly recommend you popping in there and partaking and joining this beautiful community of women that I have. But omega-3s to omega-6 fatty acids used to be 1-to-1 ratio. Now it's 1-to-20. Omega-3s are anti-inflammatory. Omega-6s are pro-inflammatory. So we are getting way too many omega-6s, which is partly seed oils, in our diets, which is causing us to have a lot of inflammation in our body, leading to chronic inflammation. Okay. So we want to seek out those healthy fats. And again, remember, go here. You know what? I'm going to look up the episode, because I always find it much easier to, find the episode. That's why I number all of them, which is a bit of a pain in the butt at my end, but I like it when other people do it. So I'm going to do it too. Okay, so I'm just having a look at that. Oh, here we go. And we're going to find it. Stick with me here. And okay. So number 119, these fats are keeping you fat and sick. Please listen to that. It's a quick episode and highly worth listening to. Okay, so you want to get certain fish in your diet, okay? The wild caught fatty fishes, some anchovy and herring and mackerel. Fish we may or may not be eating. I can definitely tell you I'm not eating a lot of those fish. Trout, sardines, and like I said, good wild caught salmon. If you can stay away from farmed fish, read your labels. Please do so. I'm not going to go into that here. But those are the top foods that are rich in omega-3. So I will say those again. This is like a 4-ounce cooked portion. You want to get some anchovies, herring, mackerel, oysters, sablefish, which is a black cod, salmon, sardines, swordfish, trout. Okay, again, trying to get the wild source. And, you know, some fish that's not as high, but still good. You're looking at pollock, crab, mussels, some sea bass, tuna, walleye, halibut, some oysters. And at the bottom of the list, but still, you know, okay, you've got some lobster, some cod, some shrimp, some scallops, tilapia. All right, so that is some fish recommendations. Again, just make sure you're sourcing your fish properly, and that will help you get some good fatty acids, or sorry, omega-3 fatty acids. Avocado and avocado oil, okay, that is really good for salad dressings and for cooking. Olives and olive oil, just remember when you pick your olives, because I did this, you have to find olives that are not sitting in crappy, bad oils, all right? So they are there. Flax seeds and flaxseed oil. So some great sources of healthy fats. We don't want omega-6 fatty acids, okay? Because they don't seem to increase your GLP-1 at all. And so avoid those. We get enough of them without it. So that means you're choosing olive oil and avocado oil over butter. And I hope nobody on here is eating Earth Balance. Go check that label out. And margarine. All right. So let's up our oils. So that's number 1. Are you getting the right amount of healthy fats in your diet for your menopausal plate to help you reduce your levels of fat in your body? Okay. Number 2, we've talked about this a lot, is lean protein. Okay, so lower fat sources of lean protein can increase your GLP-1 and also help you maintain muscle mass, which is really important. Okay, so I've mentioned this in episode 94, but the GLP-1 medications often cause loss of muscle mass along with body fat. So it's important to offset this as much as possible by adding in the protein. And you can, you know, here are some high protein sources: fish, chicken, turkey, eggs, lean beef, cottage cheese. I've just been eating so much cottage cheese. I didn't eat it for like 20 years. And then I actually really like it again. And tofu and soybeans. So just make sure those are non-GMO. Okay. So a high protein diet, which I mentioned before, reduces it makes you feel full. So it reduces wanting to eat more. And I've also talked about, whether it's here in my Vibrant or my Midlife Reboot, the protein leverage theory. So if you are not getting enough protein in your diet, your body will go seek it in the form of carbohydrates. So we don't want that. So we really want to make sure that we're getting enough protein. All right. So it's typically about 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per ideal body weight, depending on what your goals are. And I break that down in our Midlife Reboot. But some ideas would be like 3 eggs gives you about 18 grams of protein. And if you can go get your eggs from a farmer close by, better eggs. Your next one would be organic. And if you can stay away from the cheap eggs, maybe just use them for baking. If you're gonna do scrambled eggs, poached egg, any kind of egg, just go for some good quality eggs. 2 ounces of cooked turkey is about 14 grams of protein, and a cup of Greek yogurt is 17 grams of protein. So those are some good choices. So just think about your, I know a lot of people snack. What are you snacking on? Can you try and upgrade your snack? Sorry, I just needed water. Okay, you're also going to get some calcium along with some of those proteins that I mentioned, which further enhances the GLP-1 production in your body. So if you can tolerate dairy, this is a really good choice to start adding into your daily diet. All right, number 3 is soluble fiber, So there's insoluble fiber and there's soluble fiber. Okay, so we want the soluble fiber, which is the type that increases GLP-1 naturally, and it's found in a lot of healthy foods. Your fruits, your vegetables, whole grains like barley and oatmeal, legumes, flaxseed, chia seeds, right? Okay, so, and these soluble fibers absorb water and they create this gel-like substance in your body. So you've got to make sure you're drinking enough water, everybody. Make sure you're hydrating, have lots of water, have it with you in your bag. And if you can avoid plastic, okay, I was just away for 2 months and I don't buy plastic water bottles at home, but we were on the road, we were traveling quite a bit, and I'm going on like a plastic detox after all that plastic. I didn't like it at all, but it's better than not drinking water, I suppose. But it's really not good for us, plastic. So, if you can, avoid that completely. All right. So remember, when you're increasing your fiber, it's important to figure out where you are now, which is, again, something we do in the midlife reboot. We see where we are now, where do we want to go? How can we slowly over time increase this amount? And I see this way too often with, a lot of people, is that we go too fast. And so, if you're having 10 grams of fiber and we're supposed to be eating 30 grams of fiber a day, you start eating 30 grams of fiber a day. No, just incrementally increase it over the weeks so that your body can start to adjust and you're not going to have gut aches. Okay, we don't want to have the digestive upset. All right, so let's talk about 7. I'm going to mention 7 supplements that can help increase GLP-1 naturally. Okay, so a healthy diet is the best and least expensive way to increase your GLP-1 naturals level naturally. But you can add some supplements if you'd like, because I know sometimes they give me a kickstart. They make me feel good. And so let's jump into this. So the first one is psyllium, which I may or may not be saying correctly. Psyllium. Sometimes I have some challenges with my words. So anyway, but it's one of the best sources of soluble fiber. And you can either get it in husk or powder form. This will help to boost your GLP-1 levels. But just remember, you need to be drinking a lot of water and start slowly so you don't get constipated. One supplement I have been taking for a very long time is, and I'm not regular with it, but I do have it in my cupboard, is berberine. And it's been around for thousands of years. And if you go on social media, you might see this, but it's like touted as, nature's Ozempic. So it will help you lose weight. But it's not going to help you drop a ton of weight, but it's just one of those things that'll help bring your blood sugar levels down. And remember, when your blood sugar levels go up, you become a fat storage unit. So we're trying to keep those blood sugar levels consistent. Okay. So you want to actually add that with myo-inositol. So if you can pair those two together, that would be really good for blood sugar control. So number 3, yerba mate is a tea. Okay, so you can go buy yerba mate tea. Just make sure it's sourced properly, and it seems to reduce body fat in several different ways. And that is something that maybe you switch out if you have a couple of cups of tea a day, you switch one out, or you add one in during the week, and just, again, take it nice and slowly. Curcumin is another compound which is found in turmeric, which is a yellow spice that's used in cooking and can help improve your blood sugar levels. So that is something else you may want to tap into. Okay, ginseng has been used for energy and focus and memory and even hot flashes. So you can see about adding that into your diet. And remember, none of these are going to have like a quick fix approach. It's about bringing this in so that you have these great habits, these little hacks to level out those blood sugar levels, to get that GLP-1 fired up. Okay, then we have wild bitter gourd, which you can look up. It's an extract. You can see about that because it helps improve blood sugar control and improve your cholesterol numbers. And that is 7 supplements. Okay, so we want to increase our healthy fats. So go back to, I think I said episode 119, these fats are keeping you fat and sick, and start to do a pantry detox, a fridge detox. You will be absolutely floored of how many of your things in your house have this oil, okay, these bad oils. Then you want to, again, you don't have to do this overnight. You can just start to plant the seed, and you want to bring those healthy fats in, the fish, the omega-3s. I have a great plant-based omega-3 that I will drop a link to in the show notes, omega link. I'm going to do that. And get some avocados into your diet, avocado oil, olives, olive oil, flaxseed oil. You want to get your lean protein, your fish, your turkey, your eggs, beef, cottage cheese, tofu, and soybeans. Just make sure they're non-GMO. And if you can get those locally, all the better. I use Tru Local. I will put that link in the show notes as well, and it'll give you some savings. Also check out your local butcher, your local farmers, which I do. I you know, really, I support a lot of local people buying their meat. So do that. Get good eggs. I go to my egg farmer guy, road over. You can contact me about that. And then you want to increase your soluble fiber. Get your vegetables in there, your fruits, some whole grains, legumes, flaxseed, chia seeds. Okay, I'm just doing a quick recap. Then supplements were the psyllium, the berberine, the myo-inositol, yerba mate, curcumin, ginseng, wild bitter gourd. All right, so, and let's lift heavy weights. And again, if you're not weightlifting at all, you don't go right to 30 pounds, okay? You teach yourself proper form. I have a whole beginner start here of how to lift weights. You must have proper form so you don't hurt yourself. And then you just increase. I actually have a 70-year-old in my group that is excited. Okay, she started at about 3 pounds, then she moved up to 8. Now she's at 15. She went out and bought some 30s because, trust me, I am on them all the time. And she is excited to use her 30s. Excited, okay? These are the words that she uses. And then last week, I believe, yes, she used it in one of our classes and felt so good. Okay, lifting weights empowers you. It makes you feel incredible. You are never too old, never too young, never too anything to start, you know, this process of getting weights. And if you don't like it, you know, I have to tell you, I don't like necessarily some of the things that I do, but I do them anyway. And I actually now have worked on my mindset that I enjoy them because they are taking me closer to my goal instead of further away from my goal. So I've been upping my weights, and it's not comfortable. But this is one thing we practice in the midlife reboot, is how to work through discomfort. And it makes us stronger in all areas of our lives. Okay, so if you want to lose weight, you know, really, from my heart, I know the quick fixes look good. I know you get frustrated, but you have to understand the side effects. Don't be on the front end of a curve, be on the back end. Let's do this in like 7 years from now if you want to take Ozempic so you can see the long-term results of people taking these. You really are a product of your habits during the day, so you must look at those. And you must remember what your goal is, because there's different ways to eat and move depending on what your goal is. All right. So if you haven't picked up my free guide, how to, what is it called? 5 hacks to cut your cravings. I will put that in the show notes, and let me know how those tips work for you. I'm excited. And I'm just like you, I'm working on adding more of these things into my diet, and I cannot tell you how much better I feel. So if you're looking for support and motivation, you can do private coaching with me or group coaching, or you can just keep listening to this podcast and piecemealing all the stuff together. But I have to tell you, being in community is really supportive and really does help. So thank you, ladies, for listening. Again, share this with your gal pals, and I will see you in the next episode. Oh, I can't find. Here it is.